Good morning, Reading Elementary. Happy Tuesday. It is September 10th. Everybody should be in class ready for instruction on this wonderful and blazing hot Tuesday it's going to be. I can tell Mrs. She's already fanning herself this morning. So it's going to be a great day here in Hornet Country. We've got some special guests with us today, our third grade leaders of the month that we'll get to here in just a few moments. Before we have a chance to get to that, Mrs. Henry, I was blown away yesterday by Mrs. Tormelon. She just literally, I had never heard of this before. Did you know that yesterday was the start of what we call Happy Palindrome
Yes.
Days?
I saw that last night. I
So you've
actually
seen it?
screenshotted that. I was going to tell you about that
Happy
today.
Palindrome Day. So starting yesterday for 10 days, the date forms a number palindrome.
Starting today.
Was it today?
Today.
Okay. Maybe she handed this to me yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starting today.
So
9,
a palindrome, her description here, is a word, number, or sequence of characters that reads the same backwards as it does forwards. So for example, Seymour's zip code.
Yeah.
47274. So if you say it one way, it's the same versus the other way, it's the same. You guys there's some words, race car. Did you know that one?
No.
You spell it backwards and forwards,
I
the
did
same way. Dad, that's a simple one. So we're going to officially kick off Happy Palindrome Days. So if you can find a cool palindrome word that I've not heard of, race car, what's another one? Dad, is there any others that you've heard of? Mom, that's a given. Wow. So,
I got some big ones.
okay, so Happy Palindrome Days. Last week, we have our iReady information that I wanted to share because I was blown away by some of the numbers that came in. Our school usage rate was 97%. Does that mean okay, you're kind of looking at me like, what's that mean? That's good. It's good,
No,
Mrs. Henry.
I didn't. That's what
School proficiency rate, 87%. We actually had 16 classes with 100% usage rates. Mrs. Moffett, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Unterseer, Mrs. Topi, McIntyre, Mrs. Burbank, Mrs. Nolker, Mrs. Schneider, Mrs. Tormelon, Mrs. Mellencamp, Mrs. Bright, and Mrs. Cassetter, Mrs. Beavers, Mrs. Stuckwish, Mrs. Stewart, and Mrs. Hume, all with 100% usage rate.
Awesome.
So with that, we're going to keep with our trend of rewarding those grade levels that do well. And I promise we'll get that once we get Mr. Bush back in, and we can reward that recess. But this week, I don't know if you caught on some of the names that were on that 100%. Do you have a prediction of who it is?
Did I hear a kindergarten one? Mrs. Smith?
Yeah, Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Unterseer were on there, but I believe that we had most of our, if not all, third grade. Third grade is our recess winners for that, which it's only fitting that we've got our third grade leaders of the month that are here with us today. So let's do this. How about I introduce our three gentlemen behind me, and then I'll have you introduce the two ladies beside you. So here directly behind me, we've got Mr. Braxton Johnson. Braxton, you want to give the audience a wave, or you just want to? There we go. There's Braxton. Braxton is in Mrs. Miller's class. Mrs. Miller had this to say about Mr. Braxton. Braxton is always kind to others and makes friends easily. He is enjoyable to work with and is a hard worker. Braxton enjoys helping out and lending a helping hand to teachers and other students in the classroom. Congratulations, Braxton. Then beside Mr. Braxton, we've got Noble, the best hair in the business hair, from Mrs. Stewart's class. Mrs. Stewart had this to say about Mr. Noble. He is an outstanding student. I know that I can count on him to always be doing what is expected. He is a great Reading leader to other students. When he dreams about something, he is going to get it done. I appreciate his helpfulness and sense of humor. And our last gentleman representing third grade we've got is Mr. Chance Burnside. He is from Mrs. Albring's room. Mrs. Albring had this to say about Chance. He is an outstanding student and classmate. He comes to school ready to learn with a smile on his face every day. He participates in class, has excellent behavior, and works hard in all that he does. Chance exhibits a positive attitude, has a kind heart, is responsible, and is always respectful. Chance is a true Reading leader. All right. What about our young ladies up here, Mrs. Henry?
Oh, let's see. Let's start with Aileen Aguilar. Is it Nava? Did I say it right?
Noble was even doing
I know.
So I like that.
You want to give a wave even though he already showed you off there. All right. Aileen is a responsible girl who has lots of determination and motivation to succeed. She is very helpful in the classroom. Excuse me. And I really enjoy her positive attitude. Aileen is a leader who always strives to do her best. Good job, girl. All right. Maya Zarate Dolores from Mrs. Stuckwish's class. Give away, Maya. Come on, don't be shy, Maya.
It's okay.
You're a leader. It's okay. It's good. Maya is a natural leader. She always leads by example, and her translation skills are very helpful. Maya's leadership skills will help her meet her big dreams. Good job, girls. That's awesome.
All right. Congratulations to our third grade Leaders of the Month, and to everybody else there. Even if you've not been recognized this month, keep working hard, keep being respectful, responsible, being those the epitome of that Reading leadership. And at some point, you will hopefully be on stage up here with us as we go about the school year. So really, the only thing I have, Mrs. Henry, is it's going to be a hot day. We're in the 90s today. We're going to call it hazy, is what the Weather Channel app said this morning. And then Mr. Kyler came through with our joke this morning.
Okay.
So we'll see if you can get this one, or if any of our guests can make a good guess at what it is.
Pretty good. All right.
What kind of shoes do frogs wear? You ever thought about that? What kind of shoes do frogs wear? Anybody have a guess? I think Mrs. Henry would actually be wearing a form of these open-toed shoes.
Cute.
Open-toed shoes.
I like that.
That's a good one. Thank
That's
you,
really
Kyler,
cute.
for your awesome jokes that you supply us.
No Horner birthdays today.
Okay.
Yeah, none. But for lunch, we do have a hot dog or chili dog today. Barbecue baked beans, carrot dippers and ranch, veggies, fruits, and milk.
Kind of a classic.
Yeah.
Oldie but goodie.
Good old hot dogs and baked beans.
Old Faithful hot dog.
Makes for a fun
There we
afternoon.
go.
All right.
I like it. All right, third grade Leaders of the Month. We're going to have you help us say our Reading motto together. Everybody ready? All right, here we go. I am respectful. I am responsible. I am a Reading leader. Please join us for the pledge and a moment of silence this morning. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, leaders, we'll back on, wave to the camera as we close it out this morning. Noble, any words of wisdom for us? What you got? I'm gonna put you on the spot. Nothing. Okay. Okay. You do you, Noble. That's my advice. All right. Good job, guys. Go ahead and head back to your class.